Welcome to the 3D Experience Cloud Platform Certification Level 1. During this session, we will review all the information that will help you answering the certification questions. The objective of this session is to share with you key values and essential knowledge about the 3D Experience Cloud Platform offers. This session is intended for all value engagement roles, including sales, technical sales, and professional services. It is built to browse the key values delivered by 3D Experience on public cloud with associated sales or technical information for each value. We will then address also private and dedicated cloud specifics by the end of this session. In order to succeed in deploying the 3D Experience Cloud Platform, we must pay attention to the targeted functional scope we want to embrace. Today, the number of 3D Experience role available on cloud is now greater than the number of roles on premises. That's good because we want the 3D Experience Cloud Platform to be all about out-of-the-box configuration, specialization, but not full customization. So before engaging in a cloud initiative, we must make sure the targeted industry solution and process experiences are available on the cloud. For up-to-date information about industry solution experience and industry process experiences availability and maturity, please refer to my offer, navigating from industries and segments to roles. Industry solution experience and industry process experiences are described both in their on-premises and cloud implementations. Whatever the IAC or IPE to be deployed, it is mandatory to engage using value engagement framework, even for public cloud, when the final numbers of users will be more than 500, or really whenever there's an element that doesn't work out with the standard offering. Let's review the 3D Experience Cloud Platform key values. We have identified 8 key values, and our sequence will be fast delivery, as fast as 1 day for public cloud. Easy to install and deploy. So easy that when using web and widget apps on public cloud, the customer has nothing to install or deploy. Available 24/7 and everywhere. This is our commitment, delivering not only a cloud, but a global system of 3D Experience Cloud Platform. Secured and always up to date. Security is critical for our customers' business as well as our business. So, cloud is always up to date on a security perspective as well as on a functional perspective. We want our customers to take benefit of the 3D Experience's new features and new apps as soon as they are delivered. Enterprise integration. When we have committed to cloud, we made this a value, as we have built a new technical strategy and delivered a new framework called Enterprise Integration Framework. Limited IT management. This is part of the cloud promise. The client-side IT management is limited to the customer specifics and rich client management for the native apps, such as Ketia, Delmia, and Simulia. Scalable to users and usages. Scalability is another cloud promise we are delivering mostly through named user licenses. That makes the total cost of ownership predictable based on user numbers, and we think at an optimized cost. Let's focus on our very first value, fast delivery. At Dassault Systèmes, we propose the 3D Experience Cloud Platform. It provides you with a complete suite of industry-leading solutions and gives you everything you'll need to bring your idea to reality, including design and engineering, manufacturing and production, simulation, governance, and collaboration. Reduce the IT constraint and bring together all aspects of your business on a single cloud-based platform to increase collaboration, improve execution, and accelerate innovation. Dassault Systèmes is selling software, so roles or license. The customers are purchasing these roles and license. And included in these roles are all the prerequisites Dassault Systèmes is in charge. So the customer do not have to take care of IaaS or PaaS. 3D Experience on public cloud is the preferred and most common implementation. After the purchase orders validation, It is delivered within a few hours or about one day. It is delivered as an all-in-one solution. That means against name user licenses, we are delivering a complete package including the IS, which stands for Infrastructure as a Service, the SaaS for Software as a Service, that's the 3D Experience apps, and the PaaS for Platform as a Service, a layer developed by Dassault Systèmes to monitor and operate our 3ds Cloud solutions. So Dassault Systèmes is delivering all the components and is operating all of them. The operations are made from a secured control center by Dassault Systèmes certified operators. This implementation allows easy and secure access over the internet. If we consider the public cloud in more details, the underlying components, physical resource and virtual resource are mutualized. As an example, the database is mutualized between different customers. There is a logical segregation based on tenant ID between the different customers' data. To be simplistic, physical resources being data center and hardware, the virtual resources being the virtual machines on which the solution runs, and whatever the available IS, be it 3ds Outscale or Amazon Web Service, the IS selection is a Dassault Systèmes choice, not a customer choice. PaaS for Platform as a Service, it is a set of automated tools to operate and monitor the components, especially the virtual machines. This is key to operate thousands of customer clouds, delivering the same service level to all of them. SaaS is the 3D experience platform we are delivering as a service. In addition, we are delivering tools for each customer to functionally control their tenant. Let's be clear on the term tenant. From a company perspective, SaaS is delivered as a tenant that is allocated to a customer. The customer has the control on their tenant. That means that each customer manages their users, the license assignment, the configuration, the integration. So the tenant configuration is under the sole customer's control. Here are some takeaways about fast delivery key values. The public cloud is the preferred cloud offer. 3D Experience Cloud Platform is an all-in-one solution. There is no need for customers to contract with any IS provider. And finally, the 3D Experience Cloud Platform is delivered and operated by Dassault Systèmes. Our second cloud value is easy to install and deploy. Delivered within a few hours after PO validation, 3D Experience Platform has been fully installed and deployed by Dassault Systèmes using automated PaaS capabilities. The 3D Experience Platform is delivered as a baseline behavior pre-configured environment. That means that using some administrator's widget, the customer can quickly configure the platform and give his user access to web-based app. While the end user starts onboarding the platform, the functional administrator can continue the configuration, adding data model attributes, creating collaborative spaces, and P&O, setting access rules. Again, the customer has full and sole control over their tenant. The 3D Experience Cloud deployment is performed automatically on 3ds side, but there's a few prerequisites that have to be checked on the client side by the customer. So be sure to check the DS program directory and use the cloud eligibility tool, which is available for the customers on the 3ds support cloud website. This website has also several video tutorials to help the onboarding for administrators and members alike. Let's review together the takeaways for the easy to install and deploy. The public cloud is available within a few hours, and the public cloud is configurable by the customer. Available 24/7 everywhere. This is a Dassault System commitment and also our third key value. Natively designed for maximum business availability, the 3D Experience Cloud Platform is operated by Dassault System. Dassault System contractual commitment is a 99.5% availability rate measured monthly and only on the availability of the server, not the customer's network, and not the availability of the web or native client, of course. Warning, the planned service interruptions are not part of the SLA calculation. Concretely, this means that except a maximum of 4 hours of planned interruptions, the service is available 99.5% of the time. Planned interruptions are defined by Dassault System to take backups and update the platform every 10 to 12 weeks. At the very end, taking into account the potential maximum unavailability, the 4 hours plus 3.6, which represents 99.5% of the month, that's about 8 hours per month, including all hours of planned interruptions. Despite promising 99.5%, which is a contractual commitment, our experience is that we are usually delivering a much better availability ratio. Within the contract, we are committed to take a daily backup that we are keeping for a period of 7 days. Again, this is a contractual commitment. The experience is that we are backing up every 4 hours. In addition to the backup, on all public cloud, we are delivering disaster recovery. This is done using a second data center located a few kilometers away from the main one. In case of major disaster, our objective is to limit the loss of data to 24 hours, in fact, corresponding to the last backup. This is defined as the RPO, Recovery Point Objective. Thanks to the 3D Experience architecture, we can afford global business to our customers using a limited number of data centers. On this map, here are the current data centers. When a customer adopts the 3ds Cloud, he is using a main data center. Then the customer can use any other data center as a replication center for long files. This gives better performance for remote users with the Distributed File Store, or DFS. This functionality is available on all the regions exposed on this map. This mechanism is under the customer's control with administrator role that can allocate any data center for any user. At the opposite, he can enforce this mechanism for data to be stored only in his main data center. For the public cloud, the customer is fully autonomous to use DFS. We have a growing number of data centers. Upon business justification, we may install new data center in new countries. In order to support the SLA, Dassault System proposed a dedicated support organization that can be reached using phone, chat, or the 3D support app. The If We Experience community is also a very efficient collaboration tool to interact with support. So efficient that we are measuring a ratio of 80% requests posted in If We Experience communities answered within 1 day. So this community is the preferred way for a customer to report a defect to 3ds Cloud support team. In case of production outage, the unavailability of the service, we have a dedicated phone line open 24/7 as well as the operation capability of the whole team. For more information, see the support section on 3ds.com, especially for live status and information about the next maintenance period. Let's have a look to the takeaways concerning the availability 24/7 everywhere. First, the SaaS SLA is 99.5%. Second, the disaster recovery is included in Dassault System offers. and the 3D Experience Cloud platform supports global businesses. In addition to availability, Dassault Systèmes' responsibility is also to ensure the security of the customer's data. This is why cloud is also secured by design. First level of security is compliancy. The applicable certifications to the 3D Experience Cloud platform are ISO 27001, ISO 27017, and ISO 27018 for the IS. All those certifications are security related and are ensuring a best-in-class level of security. About PaaS and SaaS, the applicable certification is ISO 9001 that ensures quality of Dassault Systèmes processes, especially development and cloud operation. 3D Experience Cloud Platform, in addition to be GDPR compliant, is now also certified with additional certificates, like ISO 27701 for IS, for even better security at the IS level. But also ISO 27001 and ISO 27701 for the PaaS and IS. This reveals the level of security embedded in our software and operations, from the design to the support of our 3ds Cloud solutions. Finally, we added recently an additional level of certification for our European data centers, TISAX, the golden standard for the automotive industry. So this certification rewards the attention we are paying to security at all levels. This has started by a dedicated organization whose mission is to maintain and improve platform and service security through the definition and implementation of a consistent and unified guidance, processes, tools, and verifications across the development lifecycle, deployment, and operation of our SaaS solution. This is applicable to the software, respecting best rules and best practices, from security requirements to code analysis to security testing, internal and external penetration tests. We are respecting high standard rules and best practices such as OWASP. This is applicable also to the operations or production. All components such as operating systems, middleware, database we are using are all hardened. Security events are managed and we are permanently running vulnerability scans. Again, recommendations and industry best practices such as NIST 800 series are taken into account. A high level of security does not mean that we are compliant with the IS defense or nuclear regulations. The default clause says that no control nor government classified data must be transferred to or stored in our SaaS platform, that is, unless provided for in a separate agreement. And that is, even if the data is under the customer's control, even if we offer some IP protection tools on the cloud, such as IP controlled access and IP security manager. The location of the data, so the location of the data center where 3D Experience is deployed for a customer, the location of the operators and citizenship of operators are by default not defined in contracts. So we do not support export control, again, unless provided for in a separate agreement. The online services clause is the general use. Case by case, this can be discussed during the value definition. Specific customers' requirements are to be identified as topics to solve during value definition and addressed to DS R&D. Topics related to control data need legal and potentially export control attention. Topics to solve have to be discussed during value commitment to build a planned delivery. Any change will require legal department's involvement for amendment creation. Associated to secured is always up to date. This applies first to the security. We are able to apply security updates on any component on a daily basis. These components being middleware, database, operating systems, or software. we are doing such update with or without interruption. If criticality is major, we may apply emergency interruption to do so. Always up to date is also applicable to 3D experience. Dassault Systèmes' objectives is to deliver new features and associated value on a regular basis. To do so, we apply a major upgrade once a year, then an update with functional delivery every 10 to 12 weeks. DS Cloud support team informs the customer respectively 30 days before a GA and 20 days before a FD. So we are delivering on cloud new features months or even years before it is usually applied by our customers on premises. A word to close on this topic. All deliveries are made upon Dassault System planning, so there is no option for the customer to select an update date. There's a few takeaways concerning the secured and up-to-date cloud value. It is secure by design and consistent with standards. The 3D Experience Cloud Platform is certified with the norm ISO 27001. The 3D Experience Cloud Platform is upgraded every 10 to 12 weeks, and all customer data will remain the sole property of the customers. We encourage you to read the local clause for all the details that are relevant to your area. Enterprise integration is not a value, but a need. When adopting the cloud, Dassault Systèmes has decided to offer a specific architecture, the best in class for the cloud. Dassault Systèmes is proposing an enterprise integration with other clients, third parties, through an integration provided by CAA partners and implemented by a variety of means. It is important to note our most successful integration projects relied on those integrations and should be considered before any other in-house solutions. It's important to note that for most cases, when an integration is proposed, it is generally on EIF, Enterprise Integration Framework, which is described on following slides. For cloud, we are offering an enterprise integration framework within the 3D experience. This framework supports two integration patterns. The first one, punctual operations, that means basic integration using a small amount of data, or the second, bulk data export and import in a neutral format that needs large amount of data preparation or post-treatment. Looking at those two examples shown here, it is important to notice that everything starts by an event, here a release event. The architecture that we are providing is event-based. That means that the Enterprise Integration Framework is publishing some events that any third party compatible with JMS standard can read. This framework provides API and events in order to build asynchronous interfaces. It is to be noticed that based on those events, the logic is run or managed by a custom service or an iPaaS that is under the customer's responsibility. iPaaS, which stands for Integration Platform as a Service, is not part of Dassault Systèmes offer. If necessary, it must be provided and managed by customer or their CNSI. The customer logic embedded in a customer service or an iPaaS can integrate with 3D Experience using REST web services that the platform offers. This enterprise integration framework is standard compliant. This commitment of Dassault Systèmes to rely on standards is also valid for the export-import formats. As an example, management of product structure is done using STEP AP 242. So the cloud is open thanks to this framework using best-in-class technology and standards. A few takeaways regarding the enterprise integration. We provide an event-based architecture. The REST Web Services API are provided by the 3D Experience platform. The Enterprise Integration Framework is iPaaS compatible, but an iPaaS is not delivered by Dassault Systèmes. And finally, Bulk data exchange is based on ISO standards such as STEP. Our next value, the limited IT management, that is a SaaS promises. As seen previously, when initiating a customer's cloud or tenant, Dassault system is doing automatically all the installation and is delivering a baseline behavior pre-configured environment that is ready to use for web-based apps user. For native apps or the CATIA, Delmia or Similia users, it is necessary to install the native app code on the user's workstations. This code, that is cloud-specific code, is available on the cloud. It is not the same code that we use for on-premise. Whatever the cloud offers, the deployment of the rich client is similar. The code can be pulled or downloaded, then installed automatically by the end user. For the very first installation, Windows administrator privileges are needed, but not for the successive upgrades. The default strategy proposed to deploy the 3D Experience client is the pull mode from the cloud by the user. Some other installation modes are available for companies that want to reduce internet traffic or network workload, as well as companies that do not grant Windows administrator privileges to users on their workstations. IT management is limited to customers' specifics. Dassault system is taking responsibilities for all tasks common to all customers and is delivering a pre-configured environment called baseline behavior. Out of the box, the customer can manage data access or P&O, that means manage community, dashboard, collaborative space, and access rights to them. In addition, the customer's administrator belonging to the customer staff can configure the company tenant. This can be data model attributes management, for example, adding some attributes to existing data model. This can be the modification of existing maturity graph or adapting data access and behavior option upon expected business processes. Some control panels offer many capabilities that we will call configuration capability. Customer can also perform advanced configuration of their tenant by adding some custom behaviors, integrations, and user interfaces. For the web client, the preferred solution is the custom widgets. These are JavaScript, HTML5, and CSS Lite development. For those widgets, they should replace the Java development that the customer used to do when integrating to the 3D experience on premises. For rich clients, business logic or EKL rules are managed using the data setup application. Dassault system is also proposing company app builder for customer to build their own apps. Note that the public cloud does not include any data model specialization tools. Limited IT management does not mean no service engagement from Dassault system. We recommend to engage through a value engagement framework for cloud deployment. During value assessment, it is key to describe 3D Experience Cloud Platform offer as a SaaS offer. With the SaaS offer, Dassault system is taking responsibility for all components, delivery and operation. To get further on the cloud, the customer strategy must agree with this model at this stage. During the value definition, targeted IAC and IPA must be identified. IPEs must be cloud compliant. We analyze the constraints to comply with data classification, cybersecurity, and regulation, and document to feed customers' risk analysis. In addition, an analysis must be done to handle the potential topics to solve related to functional topics, such as supplier integration, or technical topics, such as security or enterprise integration. By the end of the value definition, all topics to solve must be identified and prioritized to be managed during value commitment. During value commitment, all topics to solve must be addressed, and for each of them, a robust plan must be built and validated by R&D. The 3ds cloud type to be deployed must also be validated because we will not get the opportunity to change it later on. During value delivery, some service will be delivered to implement configuration, specialization, integration, but also to assist the customer in their transformation projects and associated business processes adaptation derived into use case definition. Let's review together the takeaways for the limited IT management. Value engagement framework is a key success factor from the value assessment all the way to the value delivery. 3D Experience Cloud Platform is baseline behavior based, and the 3D Experience Cloud Platform can be configured by the customer. Scalability is also a value of the cloud. Let's see that it is user related. 3D Experience on public cloud is the preferred solution and fits all company size from the startup or individual to the very large corporations or organizations. 3ds Cloud offers are natively scalable. Scalability is based on named user licenses. Every time there's a user that is granted to their company, it adds to the company storage, depending on their platform roles. The same way, memory and computer resources are made available and are allocated automatically upon need. So there's nothing to do from the customer to request additional resources, CPU or memory, to increase the performance. It is monitored. For specific usages requesting additional resources, such as simulation, bulk data export, additional resources are allocated thanks to tokens or credits. About licenses or roles, I would say the specifics compared with on-premises is the fact that shareable licenses are not made available. Other acquisition models are the same, primary and annual charge or rental model. So a customer can choose a mix of models of engagement with the exception of the shareable license. Please note that casual licenses are available for platform users, but only IFW and CSV are casual license compliant with cross-company collaboration. We will review this next. A great value of public cloud is the collaboration. Different types of collaborations are possible. Let me briefly expose 4 scenarios. The simplest collaboration is the capability to share platform documents using 3D Drive, using external sharing link capability. Any authorized user can share document link with anyone that can download the corresponding document without the need for a license. If this becomes in general usage, that means used through thousands of times per user, the role extended guest access, also called PGA-OC, can be necessary. This sharing is limited by volume based on the number of IFW users you have. How does it work? We have 1 credit for 1 megabyte. 1 IFW includes 5,000 credits. 1 PGA includes 25,000 credits. Mutualized per platform and calendar month. That means the quota is equal to 5,000 times the number of IFW plus 25,000 times the number of PGA. The next scenario is granting Collaboration Business Innovator role, or IFW. Anyone can be invited to collaborate on a cloud tenant using the platform collaboration tools such as 3D Swim, 3D Drive, 3D Dashboard, the Collaborative Lifecycle, Issue, 3D Review, Change Action, and many other applications. Obviously, this access is offered with respect to the access rules. Granting any role is also possible, but with respect to software contract. Any user may be invited to collaborate on public cloud using any application of the 3D Experience portfolio. Roles are granted by the inviting company. Thanks to the DFS, or Distributed File Store, that we have discussed when addressing everywhere of value, anyone from anywhere can collaborate. We can go even further using cross-customer collaboration with anyone having access to a public cloud within a OEM supplier relationship. Here, a user from company B, which has already their own public cloud, can be invited to collaborate on a public cloud. Here, company A's cloud without granting additional role or license. This must be compliant with contract. All licensed programs that are part of online services that are neither extended enterprise user nor remote access are eligible for cross-company collaboration if role already exists on the inviter's tenant. For more information, refer to the program directory in the installation section and the product portfolio at the address mentioned in the slide. Here are the takeaways from the scalable to users and usages. Scalability is offered by user roles. Automatic memory and compute elasticity is part of the solution, so it's scaled automatically. The cross-customer collaboration is a key public cloud value, and shareable licenses are not available on the cloud. This is the very last value of the 3D experience on public cloud. It's the cost of ownership and its predictability. First of all, the cost is very predictable. As seen previously, IT management is very limited, so the cost is mostly licenses and for large companies, some internet connection capability to support traffic with Dassault Systems data centers. It is very predictable compared to on-premises. On-premises, in addition to Dassault System licenses, the customer must purchase hardware, middleware, and database licenses. The customer must also invest on services and resources to operate and monitor all the components, invest for scalability and high availability, invest in backup, invest in DRP when it can be afforded because it's expensive. Because of today's security is a must, customer must also allocate a fast-growing budget for security and cyber security. On the cloud, all the evolutions and necessary expertises are part of named user licenses at a known price. Dassault System is ensuring DevSecOps of the solution, delivering new values, SLA, and cyber security. Let's review the various takeaways on TCO, reduction, and the cost predictability. First, the TCO is optimized by including all of the prerequisites, be them physical or logical. The next one is the cost is based on usage, so it's predictable and very flexible. Finally, the 3D Experience Cloud Platform reduces the IT skills needed in-house and the workload on the customer side. Public cloud is the preferred implementation for 3D Experience Cloud Platform. This implementation delivers high value at predictable cost. So, why do we also deliver a private and a dedicated cloud? Let's have a look to their specifics. Let's introduce differentiators between these three offers. Public cloud is an easy way to quickly deploy the 3D Experience platform for all business companies, from the startup to large worldwide enterprises, with an optimized total cost of ownership or TCO and with very limited IT prerequisites. But it's also a solution for a high level of collaboration between companies thanks to cross-company collaboration. Some customers always want more control of their tenants and users, and more configuration capabilities such as data model specialization. This is the reason for Dassault System to propose 3D Experience on private cloud. For dedicated cloud, it is even more. That means some additional capability to adapt to severe regulations such as defense or confidentiality requirements. This allows the complete stack to be at a customer's premises, but still monitored and operated by Dassault System, just like the other cloud models. Before looking at the architecture differences, we must notice that both private and dedicated cloud are CA, or Controlled Availability. In order to get SBO agreement for such, a value engagement is mandatory for those implementations. Remember that a deployment on public cloud for more than 500 users also requires a value engagement. We made a review of public cloud, so it is a complete offer, IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS, at a most efficient cost. That means using mutualized physical and logical resources. Private cloud is the exact same implementation using mutualized hardware, but dedicated virtual resources. So all used virtual machines are dedicated to one company. In order to improve the security, users' authentication can be delegated to the customer's identity provider or IDP, just like the public cloud, but also it's LDAP, another way of authenticating. The security of traffic between the customer's premises and the 3DS cloud data center is also improved using an optional site-to-site VPN. For dedicated cloud, again, we have the same exact deployment stack, but using dedicated physical resources delivered by Dassault System and its affiliate 3DS Outscale. So it is the same exact image of private cloud, but installed at a customer site. Whatever the implementation, the operations are Dassault System's responsibility. So, private cloud allows more control over the authentication policies and can allow to enforce network control. What's to be noticed is that the contract can be signed only with a minimum number of users of 100. Please don't forget that a specific role is attached to the private cloud. It's called XVP-OP. This is the one that will be agreed by R&D after review of the value engagement deliverables. About time to go live, it's about 4 weeks for private cloud to be accessible to the customer, plus the value delivery phase to start production. If a customer needs to use distributed file store, the customer must then request Dassault System for its activation, and there's a supplemental license, DIF-OP, this additional role for each distributed file store. In case of VPN access, this will then require the VPN setup for each DFS. About the dedicated cloud, this is limited to a few companies that are facing strict regulation constraint to comply with sovereignty requirements, and that can offer and host a cloud infrastructure on premises. For sure, a value engagement is necessary, and in most cases, the customer's specific requirements are to be identified during the value definition phase. A contract can be signed with a minimum number of 500 users. Time to go live is at least 1 year, including the value commitment and the hardware provisioning, delivery, and installation at the customer site. Here's our takeaway for the best-in-class security level in all cloud offers. The private cloud provides advanced specialization capabilities to address the customer's specific requirement. The private cloud allows to enforce network control if desired, and a dedicated cloud offering allows to comply with very specific national regulations. Our very last point is the information to know at the very start of the project, but also information a customer wants to know if the customer wants to terminate its contract. Here are the most useful links to build the customer's adoption. They are publicly available on 3ds.com. There you can find the OST, the SLA, and the support policies. Internally, some information are gathered in the Value Engagement Cloud dashboard, and you should already have access to it. Some activities, such as data population or migration, are services activities to be taken into account and discussed with the SIS or your CNSI. Now to something we are not thinking about, but the customer does, is the contract termination. This is defined within the SLA. There, it is said, first, that the customer is entitled to request their data retrieval within 15 days after the contract termination. Second, that the corresponding procedures are available in the DS documentation. The customer can retrieve some data on his own. In the OST, it's also said that anytime if the customer has purchased online services using PSC model, so primary service charge, a customer can terminate their online service and change for an equivalent license contract. That means that they can move to an equivalent on-premise. SLA, CLOSA, and OST are the default contractual documents defining the data system cloud online services. You are now ready for your Level 1 certification. Thank you for your attention and enjoy promoting and selling online services to our customers. You can find also this training guide in the 3D Experience University. You now have all the information to run your Cloud Level 1 certification. Good luck.